Yo, what's up, y'all? This Philosophical from the Let's Rock podcast, and this is your Freedom Friday. First of all, I just want to give a couple silent seconds to PNB Rock. Um, it's really sad what happened over the week as far as him getting shot and killed over in LA. So my condolences out to his family and prayers out to his family. I was certainly a fan, so condolences, and it's a sad event that happened. And unfortunately, this is a tragic story of stories we've kind of are all heard before. So um, prayers to his family. Definitely out to his family. It's a sad thing. Um, so what's kind of been on my mind this week is basically I want to speak on kind of the emotional destruction that happens in relationships. First of all, I want to speak on that. I feel like sometimes now emotional destruction basically means it's a tug of war of control. You know, one person wants control and the other person wants to be led. So I want to explain that. I want to bring that into perspective, right? What's happening is that a lot of men right now, what's going on is that we date a woman, we see a woman we want to pursue, we want, and this happens a lot of times, right? Um, and based off of those criterias of what a woman looks like, the way she speaks, the way she acts, the way whatever the criteria is for that person is the fact that as men, sometimes we look above a woman, right? To the fact that if we're here and a woman's there, we continue to bring women down, right? And I'll get to the point in a second. We continue to bring women down to control, to manipulate, to destroy the mental and emotional capacity that a woman can bring to the table to control the narrative and getting whatever we want out of it. That may be sex, that may be finances, that may be mental, that includes emotional, that may be physical, all of it, right? So the manipulation is real. But on the other fact of it is that women are doing the same thing as far as for the same reasons. And I'll just add an extra layer in that for stability and security, right? But this is the issue. Women have learned the game. And what happened is now is that they've learned and observed and analyzed the game so much is that women are now acting like men. And in response, in order to combat that women acting like men, men are acting like females. My point is that this tug and war, as far as the emotional destruction, as far as the control factor, fellas, men, brothers, we started this. We began this from the it's become an issue since the beginning, and we started this, right? We have tried to manipulate and control women for so long that women are saying we're tired of it. They're no longer standing for it. And in response, what women are doing is that they're becoming toxic and they're becoming masculine to the fact that it's becoming to a point where women don't need men. Women don't need men. And in response, they're acting more like men because they've learned the game. They've become put up a defense mechanism to the point where women aren't taking it anymore. So if men want to treat women like men to control them, women are going to react and act like men and try to control men, which is destroying the fabric of relationships, the foundation of relationships. So the more and more men are learning the game and pushing down women on how they should be, how they should look, how a woman is supposed to be feminine wise, and destroying that. And not all men are doing it. Some men are doing it. Women are responding masculinity in a way that telling men or treating men, okay, if you're going to treat me this way, you need to bring this to the table. And there's a tug and war right now on relationships. Men are walking away from women. Women don't need men. So in return, it's becoming more of men are just now only looking at women as objects, as benefits. Women are only looking at men as agendas, as how can I get a come up, right? They don't need. Women have thought now to the point that the modern woman feels like they don't need men to get to where they need to get to, and men are looking at some women as a way to come up. Women are looking at men as a way of just not even like needing you anymore. They're acting like men. They're looking at men as not benefits. And men are responding femininely as like betas, simps. And it's absurd to me. There's a battle. That's the reason why the dating pool is so bad right now. Everybody's got their guard up, men and women now, right? We are killing the emotional perspective in relationships. Women are trying to control men. Men are trying to control women. And my question is, why? What's the reason for it? Why is there such a need to control each other? Why is there such a need for women to control men for manipulation purposes? And in return, men having to control women in a manipulation factor. What's the reason? I would love to know this reason, right? And I'll tell you the answer. And this is strictly from my perspective. Men and women are trying to control each other to get something that they can't get for themselves. Right? And I'll give you a perfect example. If a woman wants the nicest house, wants to go on trips all the time, wants the nicest materials, wants the nicest things, and the physical, and she looks at a man as a potential man, he may have a lot of money, he may have that. She's going to control the narrative in her favor. And in retrospect, right? Men may try to bring down a woman to the fact that she's a beautiful woman, she has potential, but a man's ego and pride can step in the way to say, you can't provide or give the same things I can provide in this household. So you're not going to do that. So the thing is that in some retrospect, the modern dating pool right now is so bad because women are saying, we are going to control what you buy for us, how you buy for it, how much does it cost, where we're going. And money is not the thought process. Men, on the other hand, have is encouraging this because we're leading with our money to the fact that once we've spent our money it's like an investment. Once we've spent our money, we want a return on that investment to the fact that we now control you. And that's what a man's thought process is. If we have to spend a lot of money on you, there's barriers and a control factor of things you're not going to do. And in retrospect, women are saying, if you want me to react in this way, you've got to spend a lot of money on me. Not only that, you're going to control how much money you spend. You're going to control what kind of money you spend. And in retrospect, for men, is that if I'm spending money on you, we as men, we start to put women in a box, and we lower and diminish the value that you only cater to us, and we can control the narrative. Women are controlling the narrative as far as in their favor financially. Men are controlling the narrative as far as emotionally. And that's the problem right now. Men have encouraged the modern dating right now. And that's why there's so many problems as far as women saying they're not good men out here. It's because men have pushed down women so far that women have become masculine. And women are acting more masculine, that they're detaching their emotions and feelings from men, and which vulnerability in which men need. That's why there's such a battle on finding good men and women out here. We're emotionally destroying the potential of relationships. Point blank. There's a control factor. When you have two alphas in the house dating each other, someone has to submit. And men are saying they're not going to submit. Some men are saying they're going to submit, which is, in my opinion, there are some things you should submit on. But when you have to submit on your values, your core values, being able to be the man you need to be in a relationship, you are submitting and putting down those standards. That's a problem. We are killing the emotional perspectives of a relationship. And when you do that, you start to not be yourself. You can't be the woman you need to be for a man. You can't be the man not only for your to be for yourself, but for a potential woman that cares, that's emotionally attached. Women now, because they're so masculine, have detached emotionally. They have said, you know what? I'm no longer going to put my feelings in dating. And there's so many roadblocks and guardrails and so many walls a man has to knock down to even get to your feelings and emotions because you're so protected and guarded by the masculinity that men have started in the first place. Men, what is the reason for having the control? If you're taking care of business outside of a woman in a relationship, you only can control what you can control. You control your bank account. You control your home. You control where you live. You control the car you drive. You control the moves you make. Why do you feel you need to control the woman? Women, ladies, if you can understand to let the man be the man and attach your emotions and feelings to the right man, right? That is taking care of business, that can control his narrative within his life and stop detaching the feelings and emotions into that man and be the woman that you can be not only for yourself, but be for the man and stop running away from this narrative, the fact that you have to control it in your own agendas, the dating pool will be much more successful. All right. Free yourself from this, ladies, being from detaching yourself emotionally. Men, stop leading with your money, your finances. Because once you do that, you relinquish control because you've got control of your bank account. You've got control of your household. A woman brings peace to that household, not destruction. If her feelings and emotions aren't in it, you're going to lose control. We're spiraling out of control, fellas. Women are acting more masculine. Men are responding femininely by spending money, and yet we're losing control. We're emotionally destroying relationships on both fronts. And that's the problem. Solution is somebody's got to submit, but submit for the right reasons. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure you guys click that bell notification bar that every time the Freedom Friday comes out, you're notified. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. Love to hear your feedback on this. And let me know if I'm right on this. Are we emotionally destroying relationships? It started with men. Is it going to end with men? What does it take? How is it going to take? How do we fix this? All right. I'm Philosophical from the Let's Rock podcast. I'm out. Peace.